So at this point I'm going to take the stop off, which is just a socket headed cap screw down in there, and I should be able to pull that out. So that's pretty standard. That's even on the J head. That's the same thing. That just comes out of there. That's the stop that comes down up against the collar, and then the quill handle here unloaded, which was spring loaded, and then that should come out of there. Quite a bit of crap on there. There we go. That's out of there. That was about what I expected. So now as far as the head goes, now there's not much left other than the quill feed arm here and the fine feed there. That's I looked on the prints, that's actually supposed to be in there. I forget what they call that. But other than that, there's not a lot left in there. This is the knob that locks up the fine feed. And then what I'm assuming, based on this having this end cap on here, I think I got to pull that end cap off, and then all that should come out through this end. Let's see what we get out of here. It's the last screw to come out. Hopefully there's no big springs or die springs in there. Ah, just a plate. But what that is that is the actual spring for the quill handle. I gotta figure out, make sure I know how to get that out of there. So what I can see, probably can't see that on camera, but when you turn the fine feed handle here, there's some sort of a worm gear or something, and I think what happens is when you tighten up that handle, it locks up a clutch system. But I think that prohibits this from going out, and this is held in. There's a it's probably a split pin down here through this casting. It's actually it's exposed here, so I got to clean that up and figure out how to get that split pin out of there. I think I got the right punch here, and we'll see what happens. That's a solid kind That's a solid dowel. I'm surprised, but came out pretty simple. One of the things I've done to help in long term, I'm going to have a better setup, but for right now I've got one of the M Head adapters clamped into the vise, and so what it gives me the ability to put the spindle on here and put it in positions and work on it. And one in particular was this the clock spring, getting that out of there. Well, I guess it's not really out of there. One of the things that I would suggest if you're ever doing this is the inside clip is a lot easier to get out than the outside clip. So the best advice I've got is leave this inner one clipped, wind the spring completely up so that it's tight on the ID, and then that leaves you a gap out here. There's a little tang out here that a hole in the spring clips over, and if the spring is sprung the way it is shown now, it's hard to maneuver the spring itself. So like I say, wind it in on itself, take the outer one out, and then it'll come apart a lot easier. So now the spring's out of there. So I just want to verify, I'm going to look at the drawings and see what the heck's going on in there before I pull that out of there. So this is that's the part I'm trying to get out of there right now, and it looks like there's some kind of shoulder here, and that's the spline that connects to the spindle housing, keyway and stuff out here on this end. So I think, and that there 39, that's a split bushing. 38 is the spring, and I've already got the cap and the knob out of there, so I think it's got to come out this way. And I guess it's the way they've got it drawn here too, with the exploded view, everything coming out this way. So I'm going to give that a try. First thing I'm going to do is try and get that spring out of there. I really don't want it to uncoil. And it's gonna. Told you. I don't think I damaged the key or the keeper slot, so that's good. Actually, it went the other way. That's just a split bushing. So I think what happens is when you're running the handle, you're running off of this key, and then when you tighten everything up, there's like a little fiber washer here. I think that's kind of, yeah, there's one on the other side, so there's two fiber washers on either side of this gear here. I think you're applying pressure to tighten that up. It's really quite simple. It sounds like Bailey texting me. So I think that's it. There's nothing else in the head. Now we'll start cleaning everything up and seeing what we got to do.